happening, and I can't believe it. I've been watching so much about what's happening down in Melbourne, the live streams of all the people protesting and going and just staying out overnight, and just everyone getting up and speaking with microphones and speakers, and they're all providing food for each other, and it's just so nice to see the camaraderie. And this morning, all of the live feeds have been barred off YouTube. They've shut them all down. You're in the middle of watching one and bang, it's gone. And the next time, bing, another one's gone. And it's like, you assholes. You know, they're trying to silence us, because our Prime Minister went out there today and had a go at the Queensland Premier, saying, oh, no, you can't, you know, discriminate against the unvaccinated people in Queensland. You can't do that. You know, I don't think that's very fair of you to do that a week before Christmas. And so she's cracked the shits, and her sidekick, he's come out and had a few digs and whinges and complaints. And it's just like, how dare they? How dare they? I think they have the right to silence us. Because there's a big protest, as you know, the worldwide protest is happening. A huge one happening in Sydney tomorrow. But you won't see any of it on YouTube, and you won't see any of it on Facebook, because they're blocking it a day beforehand. And look at that. Beautiful blue sky, and then down here where all this white shit is where all they are. And the amount of, if you go back, I'll see if I can post one link of a live feed yesterday. It's still up because it's from yesterday. Doesn't mean it won't be gone in, you know, a day or in an hour, who knows. But yeah, oh my God, the sky in Melbourne is so demonic. Oh my God. When they're going around and they're walking around, you know, videoing people, and you see all of the cloud in the background, and it's this big demon crowd. Oh, it's just horrible. And I was like, oh my God, Melbourne is lost. They're just these really, one looks like a big Chinese dragon with big eyes, one on each side. It's got one eye sort of like here and another eye there, and then the big China mouth. Oh my God. Even looks like it has fire coming out of it. Oh. But anyway. So, don't know how much more information is going to be coming out of Australia. Because even you know, this Senator Kelly, the guy that's with the United Australia Party, they pulled half of the videos that Clive Palmer, you know, the funding person for the United Australia Party, he spent, you know, like a couple of $1 million, $26 million I think he spent, might even have been $52 million of money, of his own money, because he's a mining magnate, to fund the advertisements on YouTube. And so they just blocked them all or deleted them. A lot of things on Craig Kelly's own YouTube channel have been pulled for medical information, because he talks about ivermectin and a few other things. I shouldn't have said that word, should I? Because I'll be blocked. But yeah, it's just, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. And then I look at these guys, like they just hang there. How can a cloud just hang? How can it do that? It's like it's free floating. It's like cork in water, but they're not moving. And look, he even has, he's getting markings on him. Look at that. He's got friggin' markings coming on him. So, sorry, I keep going down. But yeah, it's just unbelievable. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they're really, really, really pissed off with what's happening here, because the people of, like South Australia, 200 teachers, 200 teachers have walked out because of the magnate, and they've said nope, we're not doing that. So the whole education system will fall. All the nurses have, a lot of nurses are refusing the mandate, so they've all walked the fire, and down in Melbourne, all the rural fire brigade, which are mostly volunteers, they've all been given a deadline to be jabbed, and if they don't take it, then they can't turn up. So they'd rather see the forest burn and have all the fires like they had, not last year, the year before, where the whole world was watching Australia. And maybe that was a precursor, because I think that was man-made, government-made. I shouldn't say man-made, government-made, what happened there. So I think that was to make sure people were aware of where Australia was, and to make people have compassion and love and have a camaraderie for Australia and feel attached, because they knew that they were going to be treating us like a bucket of shit this year. And just look at poor Melbourne, and that was the one state that had most of, because it was regional, that area there, that all was on fire. So when you look back in hindsight, you can see the connections and how they think, 2 steps ahead, but they don't recognise that people can remember those things. But anyway, I've rambled on too much. So look after yourselves and look after your children. And little babies, look after them, because without them there is no humanity. People and life dies. If there's no rebirth, it's like with plants. Like I'll show you something interesting just before I go. I bought this beautiful plant, just flowers, from my father, because he had beautiful blue eyes, and that was something I remembered very vividly as a small child. So I bought these beautiful irises, and I was like, damn, too bad I can't have them in a pot where I can actually grow them and I can have them forever. And that was like, nearly 6 weeks ago, 5.5, 6 weeks ago, that I purchased them, and all of them died bar one. And I talked to this plant, look at it. All the others have all died, but look at it. He's strong, he's healthy, he's still alive. All the others are still in the container, but I purchased it from the florist. His friend has passed away, sorry to say. But this one, I talk to him and I tell him, he's a pretty plant, you're very, very pretty, you're strong, you can do this, you can make it. And he is surviving. So I put some Osmo stuff in there, and I make sure he's got lots of water in there. And then we also have another one here that's growing from nowhere. And these are just cut flowers. They're not, they don't have any roots. They're just cut flowers. And this one is still going strong. So, so don't give up hope. This plant should be dead like all the others. It should have been withered and died like all the others, but I dare not pull those out in case I disturb whatever roots he's growing down there. So I leave it as it is and just keep adding more water. And rotating him so the sun doesn't get him too much, but he likes it just where he is. So you keep growing, my friend. You keep growing. See how the beautiful colours? Isn't he beautiful? But anyway, I've got to go. So just take that for what it is. Out of death, life can come from nothing. Most people would have thrown that away before they even gave that the opportunity, but that's not me. I'm very perseverant and I'm dogged and I won't stop. Hence, I'm always looking at the sky. But anyway, take care.
Accused the Prime Minister of siding with anti-vaxxers and undermining the state's vaccine rollout. Scott Morrison had criticised Queensland's imminent restrictions for the unvaccinated.
A seemingly innocent comment at Queensland's looming vaccine mandate.
They should be able to go and get a cup of coffee in Brisbane when you're over 80%, regardless of whether you've had the vaccines or not.
On December 17, when the state reopens domestic borders and Queensland reaches an 80% double dose rate, there will be a different set of rules for the unvaccinated. If you're not double jabbed, you won't be able to enter hospitality venues, stadiums, and in some cases, hospitals.
We're not in favour of mandatory vaccines imposed by the government. As we get above 80% in particular, which the scientific advice shows us and the research shows us, that means Australians can have their lives back.
Queensland's Deputy Premier Stephen Miles was scathing on the floor of State Parliament. He wasn't impressed with the Prime Minister's comments, accusing him of trying to win votes from anti-vaxxers.
He is so desperate. He is so desperate to claw together a coalition of anti-vaxxers for his own political benefit that he is undermining confidence in our vaccine rollout.
No, these are not fringe groups, Mr. Miles. These are concerned people. He should be talking to the people in the middle of Queensland about why he is on the 17th of December apparently going to bring a sort of a two-state solution.
Vaccination passports have been rolled out in other states. In New South Wales, to have any kind of social life outside your home, you must be fully vaccinated to enter restaurants, pubs and clubs. That mandate will be in place until a 95% double dose rate is reached. To travel overseas, the federal government also requires proof of vaccination, but it was Queensland's mandate that was singled out by the Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister has done today what he has done every day of this pandemic: attacked Queensland, attacked Queenslanders and our health response, all for the sake of his own political survival.
Businesses can make their own choices under the law, but we're not about telling them what to do or telling Australians what to do.
The Deputy Prime Minister insists it's a different set of circumstances.
As like saying, well, you know, we don't care if you wear thongs to a restaurant. It makes no difference. We do care if you wear thongs to a building site, because there quite obviously is an inherent danger.
Georgia Simpson, Sky News.